everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Chelly. It is short for Rachel. That is my real name, but I prefer Chelly. Today we are going to talk about the genetic disorder that I have in honor of Rare Disease Day, which was February 28th, and for whatever reason I missed it. I think I was working that day and I was tired, so I didn't really do anything special. But here we go. Okay, so what is TRPS? TRPS is an autosomal dominant genetic disorder that about 250 people in the world have. It is considered a type of skeletal and ectodermal dysplasia. Most people with TRPS have type 1 out of technically 2 types. There was a type 3, but now it's just 1 and 2. And people who previously had type 3 would be lumped in with type 1. And this is caused by a mutated copy of the TRPS1 gene. Type 2 is a little different, and it's a deletion across 3 genes, but type 1, like me and most people, is only the result of a single mutated copy of the TRPS1 gene. So now that we know a little bit about the disorder, where does TRPS live? The TRPS1 gene lives on the chromosome 8. Chromosomes have a short arm, which is like the upper portion of it, and a long arm, which is the lower portion. And they'll have like bands, as you could see, banded areas. And these are, you can consider it like a region. So for example, my mutation is 8q23.3. So 8q is the long arm. It's located on the long arm of chromosome 8. And 23.3 is the fat little band, fat banded segment toward the bottom. So this is what you're seeing is a karyotype of chromosome 8, which is very low resolution, so it doesn't provide a lot of detail. It's useful though, but not for TRPS1. TRPS1 cannot be evaluated by a karyotype. It cannot be seen on a chromosomal microarray. For TRPS, you really need to have the gene sequenced, targeted gene sequencing and other methods. So here we are actually going to see the chromosome in a little more detail, a little bit better than you would see on a karyotype. And this is called a cytogenic ideogram. Cytogenic is the study of chromosomes. Ideogram is like a map. So you could see, sorry, my nose is a little sniffly. So as you can see, these are fat banded segments. And then if you look even further, let's say towards the bottom, it's Q23.3, and that's where the TRPS1 gene lives. And you get to see it a lot better than you normally would under other, viewing ways like the karyotype. This is a lot clearer, a lot better. And honestly, I gotta tell you, karyotypes can be really, really hard to see and like hurt your eyes after a while. What is my mutation? Well, my specific mutation is called the 217L2180del. Del stands for delta, which used to be represented as a triangle. Now it just means deletion. That's what it stands for. So if you look at some old references in journals, and it talks about a delta gene, that would be it. Delta means deletion. And in my case, you could see actually here in the picture, this is a deletion of two base pairs, and what is missing is A and C in the sequence. So because A and C got deleted, this leads to a frame shift mutation, which messes up the entire coding sequence, and it just causes the disorder because It results in a non-functional protein, and it's like a programming language kind of. And in programming, if you don't get your code right, it develops bugs, and it like messes up your project. You'll get errors, and you won't be able to do whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish with the code. So think of it as faulty code, and it helps you, I guess, visualize things a little bit better. So what does TRPS mean when you're like me and you're actually living with this disorder? It means that the faulty gene, as I said before, causes the disease in us. People with TRPS will have features shown in the picture here, and I'll explain it in 1 second. There's been over 130 genetic mutations of the TRPS1 gene found, and the disorder occurs in lots of other populations, Asia and European countries. So it's not like just a white person disease. It's not just like a Jewish person disease. It's not like a one kind of particular race kind of disease. It happens all throughout the world. And what you're seeing here are people with TRPS. So if you look, pay attention to the facial features, you'll see we have like oval faces, and we tend to have light hair. Not always. Like I said, people are in Asia and India and all sorts of areas also have it, so they won't have blonde hair. But a lot of people with it do seem to have blonde hair for whatever reason. And we tend to have like horizontal creases on our chin. We also have like our noses look the same. They look bulby. It's called, our lips tend to be on the thinner side. We have a lot of dental issues because our mouths just are so small. Our jaws are so small, and they're angled really steep. And actually, when I took my son to the orthodontist immediately knew we had something, because his jaw angle is like 50 degrees, and the normal mandibular plane angle, they call it, is about 30 degrees. And you see that with skeletal dysplasia. So we have teeth problems, dental problems. Missing teeth is one thing. Too many teeth is another one. Crooked teeth, cross bites, all sorts of stuff. So we have to get a lot of orthodontic work done, which is happening in my son's case. We also tend to have crooked fingers, as you could see. Not everyone has the crooked fingers exactly as their pointer fingers. Some have other fingers that are crooked. And then if you look on x-ray, you will see that we tend to have hip problems, but also if you go to take an x-ray of our fingers, they will look cone-shaped. Also, the toes can look cone-shaped as well. Common symptoms of TRPS1 include the ends of our finger and toe bones being cone-shaped. This happens in 100% of people with TRPS. Other issues include short stature or growth problems, joint pain. That it occurs very early on, like I want to say childhood or early 20s, like things like that. Very, very early on, not at like your normal 60, 70, years of age, especially pain in our hips and pains in our knees. That's very common. Other features include hypermobility, so excess range of motion in our joints, cardiac, kidney problems, that they occur in about 10 to 50% of people with TRPS. I happen to have both. Also, I'm actually the tallest person in my family, interestingly enough. Everybody else is like much shorter than me. I'm 5'7", but my mom was like 5'2", my grandma was 5'2", and my uncles who had it were maybe 5'4" at best. And just like anybody else with, living on Earth or, living with a disorder, we just want to be treated as normal. But, there are some problems. For example, we look different because of our disorder. And, back in my day, I used to get made fun of a lot. My son has been very lucky. He doesn't really get made fun of. He's very well liked at school. He doesn't really have problems. But, back in my day, I got picked on a lot. I'm glad that things are a bit different now, and that administration takes it a little more seriously than they used to. But like everybody else, we have interests, we have hobbies, we have things we like to do. I work 2 jobs. I work in healthcare, and then on the side, I run my own business where I board rabbits in my house because I love rabbits. I'm such a rabbit person. I love taking care of them. I truly do. I think they are like the best creatures on earth, hands down. Um, and how I get my medical care is through my local cardiologist. But we are going to travel to a place called the New York Center for Rare Disease. I spoke with the clinical geneticist there. We have an appointment in March, and they said they could help us and that they see people, they see people with TRPS. Other specialists may be involved as needed, such as like when I had the kidney problems, I used to go to a pediatric nephrologist. For the cardiac problems, I go to my cardiologist. For joint problems, you could go to an orthopedist, but I find that regular orthopedists just don't really understand skeletal dysplasia, which is why we are traveling to the New York Center for Rare Disease. They have endocrinology there, and they have orthopedics there, and they're more familiar with people with skeletal dysplasias. And it's called a skeletal dysplasia because it affects our cartilage, bone, and joint development. And it's also an ectodermal dysplasia because it affects our teeth, our hair, our skin, and our nails. Our nails are very fragile and very brittle, and they break very, very easily. But yeah, just like anybody else living in the world, we just want to have the best life that we can and enjoy our lives. And a lot of people like to contribute to society, and I know I definitely do, and I love, I don't know, like doing different things. I have like my outlets, like my work is my outlet, and my business is my outlet, and then things like this, making videos, I guess will be another way. I'm always a creative person. I play music in my spare time too, which I didn't mention, but I like to do that as well. And just because we look different doesn't mean you should treat us different. Medically, yes, we do need special care, but outside of that, we're just as capable as anybody else. So this is my short little presentation on TRPS. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I will be doing more content very, very soon, I promise. And if you've enjoyed this, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, do whatever it is you need to do. And just let me know, I'm always open to feedback and stuff like that. And I want to kind of grow my channel a little bit and connect with other people. So if you have TRPS, please also let me know, and I would love to talk to you. Thank you for watching. Bye.